I think we have to strike a balance between science and pragmatism here. I don't think any society, any country can hide behind the curtains of lockdown in perpetuity. So we have to think about exit strategies. We know a lot about how this virus transmits and spreads, so we have to really use that science as we open up. And there are places, it's not going to be uniform across India. As it was mentioned, there are several states nowhere near close to lifting the lockdowns yet, including my own state, West Bengal. And then we have to really strategize, optimize our lockdown strategies, avoid like indoor places where you have to take your masks off.
But sorry to intervene, is there a point at which as an epidemiologist you decide, okay, now we are safe? I mean, is it positivity rate that you look at? What do you look at before you would advise a state government, look, you can now lift the lockdown?
So I think there are multiple metrics, and again, the policymakers make the decision. The statisticians and the quantitative data scientists only provide the information. And the test positivity rate, also hospital capacity, that's a key metric, that whether you can take care of, if there is an outbreak with the opening strategy, you can take care of the patients. But also I would say that you really think about the strategy going forward, the long-term strategy of, as Dr. Jamil mentioned, of sequencing the breakthrough infection, sequencing reinfection, gathering more data on this vaccine and variant interface. But the key thing is really accelerate vaccination. That is really, in the United States, 6 months ago, we were in a very different situation. And now the Memorial Day weekend is so uplifting for the community to be able to see each other again. So I think that vaccination is the key here towards opening up and gathering more data on the variants.
I'm going to have a separate debate on that because the government is saying 1 crore vaccines per day from the 15th of July. But let me get in Dr. Mulyal, because you're a bit of an outlier in this discussion. You seem to believe the worst is over. You're not so confident that there'll be a dramatic third wave. But let me push you on this. Were you not surprised by the sheer intensity of the second wave? That somewhere, Dr. Mulyal, the sheer intensity of the second wave caught you and others a little bit off guard?
The intensity in terms of the attack rates. When you calculate the contagion's ability to infect others, we calculate a basic reproduction number. This new virus was much more infectious than the first Wuhan virus that visited us. So there are so many variants. Nobody showed that, but 2 or 3 variants really showed a distinct increase catchiness, so to speak. That means your basic reproduction number changes, and consequently the herd level that is required also goes up, which is unfortunate. So but in today's current situation, the proportion of the population which is still naive, not infected, is shrinking to a small extent. It'll be maybe 25 or 20%. Now that is our protection. That is, a bulk of us are already have antibodies against it. If we had the vaccine too, we could to some extent close that gap more efficiently. But even then, that vaccine will not be the only protection against a new variant, which ignores all previous immunity. So I think we are talking about something disastrous, and I don't think we should spend time on it. We are happy to see things are coming down, and I think we can start life again back in India.